Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of Norwich Free Academy for what promises to be an entertaining game between two of the hottest teams in the Eastern Connecticut Conference, the Woodstock Academy Centaurs and the Norwich Free Academy Wildcats. I'm Michael Farrell, the NFA Director of Communications by day, and tonight I'll be handling play-by-play duties. I'm joined by Chris Giusti, NFA Department Head by day, and our color analyst, who brings more than 20 years of coaching experience to behind the mic. This is our second broadcast of the season, having started with a boys game earlier this year, and it's our goal to bring you one more of each game this season, and who knows what next year will bring. But for tonight, Juice, we got a good one. NFA is coming in with a record of 7-5, but that includes 4 wins in a row, 5 out of the last 6. But not to be undone, Woodstock has won 11 in a row, stands at 12-1 overall. There's some revenge factor here, though, because Woodstock beat NFA in the very first game of the season, 55-43 up at Woodstock. So I think Coach Gomez wants this one back. Got any early thoughts on this one, Coach?
Yeah, excited about this one, Mike. I mean, this is a large division battle, and Woodstock, maybe coming a little bit out of nowhere. Everybody expected New London and Fitch to be the top teams in the large division. Well, lo and behold, the Centaurs are first place with a 4-1 division record. The Whalers from New London have a 3-1 record, followed by Fitch and NFA at 2-2. So this is a big swing game here. Woodstock with a win, and they give themselves a lot of breathing room atop the division. But NFA with the win, and all of a sudden it gets really tight, and NFA gets the Whalers here on senior night at the end of the season, and they played the Whalers tough down there at New London. So a lot on the line tonight for both teams.
So NFA is playing its second game in as many days. We beat Killingly yesterday 45-29, game that was delayed by the weather. Woodstock hasn't played in a week. Is there a difference? Like, who would you rather be right now? Coach Fleet, with his team fresh, or Coach Gomez knowing that you're ready to go here?
I prefer to ride the hot. I don't want a lot of time off in the middle of the season. If you're going to take time off, maybe over the Christmas break, might be the only, because you still have time to regroup and gain momentum. But right now, I would rather be Coach Gomez because you have a lot of positivity riding from yesterday. But, at the end of the day, Mike, it's what shots fall through. You can't play great defense and kick a field goal late to win a basketball game. You got to make shots. So whatever team is better at making shots tonight, sounds simple, but that's the truth of the matter.
It sure is, and we are just about well-timed here for the national anthem, which of course will be performed by Bob Maloff, who will actually be our halftime guest, telling tales from the table. But for right now, the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Bob Maloff, everyone, with a fine rendition of the national anthem. He will join us at halftime to tell little tales from the table. So, Coach, it's interesting, we've lost 5 games, NFA has, but 4 of them have been in single digits. We lost 2 two-point games, a 4-point game, 7-point game, and a 12-point game. So they've been close, 7-5. Very easily could be looking at 9-3. But I would think tonight we're going to have a pretty competitive game on our hands.
You know, when you look at the NFA roster, the speed at the guard position, the height and ability to finish around the rim at the post position, they stack up nicely with any team in the ECC. It really comes down to, can they make an efficient amount of shots? If their shooting percentage is going to be over 40% tonight, I like their chances.
So NFA is starting Jordan Bacon, number 1, Brooke Stringer, number 3, Nevaeh York, number 2, Cece Atchison, freshman, number 11, and Emily Orcutt, wearing number 33. So that's what we can't have happen right there. That's Vivian Bibbo, one of the starters for Woodstock, going up, drawing an immediate foul on Jordan Bacon. Coach Gomez not happy. And this is the same formula that happened in the first game of the year. Bacon and Orcutt found themselves in early foul trouble, and I think that really hindered the way that Coach could work the rest of that, at least the first half.
Yeah, and for the Centaurs, their post player, Eva Monahan, had a huge game, 22 points in the first matchup. So that's why Coach Gomez is so animated. You can't afford to have Jordan get into foul trouble here in the first half.
Early press from Woodstock. NFA, no trouble getting, well, as I say it, there it is, but it picked up a foul. So running down the starters quickly for Woodstock, number 3, Isabel Daliva Beauchesne. She's a sophomore. Regan Reynolds is a senior. Kaylee Saucier, she's one to watch, leading scorer on the team. She's a sophomore. Vivian Bibbo, also a sophomore, and Eva Monahan, another leading scorer. She's a junior. So both young teams here, I think, with bright futures ahead of them. And we'll see what happens tonight. But this is Stringer inside to Orcutt. Up and good. Wildcats take a 2-1 lead. 7:22 left in the first quarter. So this is Bibbo. That is Daliva Beauchesne. We got another foul there. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they got York a little bit too close. And already you could tell that tight whistle tonight, you got to make that adjustment, you know, and the players are amped up, I'm sure, especially the NFA players, very amped up because they're the hunter tonight. They want to get this win.
So Monahan inside against Bacon, but throws the ball away. Atchison coming up the other way now. This is a freshman coach. Looking forward to seeing her develop over time, and I think a little forced into some early activity. Brooke Bowles was out with an illness at the start of the year, and Cece had to step up, and I think she's done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Woodstock in the man-to-man. You saw in that first possession they will use after made baskets, that little half-court 1-3-1 trap.
York on a nice drive, and it goes. Extend the lead 4-1. Nevaeh's had a lot more of that this year. Seems a lot more confident driving the lane and finding her way through with it. A lot of people can't make it through, but she can.
And she's so quick. Yeah, and good pressure there by Brooke Stringer.
Early timeout from Woodstock, and I tell you, both of these coaches are having conversations already with the officials, and not sure what this one is about.
Coach Fleeton wanted the hand-checking foul.
Well, and I also looking at one of his players over there. It looks like she's already got a bloody nose or an ice pack on her eye or something along those lines. So we've got a timeout, 6:27 left in the first, 4-1 NFA. So you talked about, you know, the tight whistle early. Is it sort of like, you know, I was talking about in a baseball game, what the official strike zone is really doesn't matter as long as the umpire is calling the game equally for both pitchers. Is it kind of the same here as a coach? You have to adjust to how they're blowing the whistle and how you give your team instruction and how to get through this?
Absolutely. That's a great analogy, Mike. Although in this situation, Coach Gomez would rather it be the other way around. She would probably rather both teams got a swallowed whistle
right.
instead of a tight whistle because she's so thin. You know, her bench is not very deep, and she really is dependent on those posts staying out of foul trouble.
So here we go, back in. This is Daliva Beauchesne. She comes in to Saucier. Saucier, 22 three-pointers on the year, so they got to keep an eye on her when she gets the ball on the outside. That's Bibbo, and that is Regan Reynolds. Loose ball on the court. Orcutt picks it up. Quick double team, but able to dribble her way out, and here we go.
Good man-to-man defense so far from NFA to start this game.
Oh, that's...
And sometimes, Mike, I know that you say, oh, that's a cheap foul maybe, but that is actually the guard's fault. In something like that, you really got to, and then that's a freshman, you know, CC's going to learn. You know that your big Jordan has foul trouble. Make sure she's set before you use that screen. And she was a little bit tilted. It was a 50-50 call, but in some circles that would have been the right call.
So more importantly, she sits down with 2 fouls with just under 6 minutes left in the first quarter, which is almost identical to what happened in the first game. But thankfully there, Woodstock step out of bounds, goes down the other end. Now, if you're Coach Fleeton and you know that one of the bigs just went down, how does that change your offensive plan? Are you going to start pounding it inside a little bit more and go after Orca?
You know, I don't know if at this level, you know, they're so concerned with just trying to do what they do well. But it definitely just helps because it's one less critical player that you have to worry about defending.
Shot was long by Stringer, rebounded, still NFA ball. This is York. That's Brooke Bowles, checked in for Bacon, who went out with the 2 fouls. York gonna sneak in again, tries to dump it off to Bowles, can't do it. This is gonna be a sloppy one on our hands. That's Bibbo over Atchison. 4-3 NFA, 4:52 left to go in the first. Still some pressure here from Woodstock, nothing serious. But it has given us a little bit of trouble. As example right there. But Bibbo loses the handle. 3-pointer from long range, no good. Monahan with the rebound. Orchid got away with one. Great pass ahead to York. And she'll go to the line for 2. With a foul from Isabel D'Aliva Beauchesne.
Yeah, great outlet pass from Orca, just a regular chest pass, and, you know, traveled about 40 feet in the air and hit Nevaeh in stride for the layup opportunity.
So Wildcats ahead by 1, 4-3. 4:30 left in the first. York will be at the line for 2.
Some of the NFA boys players filtering into the gymnasium now. Had a late matinee.
Yeah, 5:15 start. And big win for them, 88-77 over E.O. Smith. And not sure what our stoppage is here this time. I don't think anybody called the timeout. Oh, but we've got, I think there might be a drop of blood on the floor as KJ Donovan, our crack athletic trainers, going out to investigate the situation. Bob Maloff with a mop, make sure we're all tidy. But, it's interesting. You talk about the ECC being wide open. I mean, New London has beaten both NFA and Woodstock. NFA beat up on Ledyard. Ledyard beat New London. NFA beat up on Fitch. Fitch beat New London. We split games with Killingly. I think basically what it's showing is the league is wide open. And, whoever's catching the hot hand at the right time may find themselves in a good position come tournament run.
Yeah, and the formula for the Wildcats is pretty simple. When they're able to get 50 points, they're in good shape. So scoring the basketball has been a bugaboo so far this season, but they had a good offensive game yesterday and trying to carry that over today.
York makes 1 of 2 on the back end, puts us up by 2, 5-3. 4:27 left to go in the first. Here comes Bibbo. Tried to make something happen, back to Monahan at top of the key, no good. Orchid brings it down. Nice that she can take down that rebound and then take a few dribbles to help the press on the other end. This is Stringer, and she's, I think Stringer's the one who's got to hit. She's got the ability from long range, and I think she hits her first one. That helps out. Obviously, she missed one, but it was inside the three-point arc. But I'd like to see her get some attempts from outside. This is Bowles, that's York. Shot clock is winding down. It's at 5. Nevaeh's got to do something here. She throws up a 3. No good. Orchid over the back. That's going to be her first team, fourth on the team. Those are the ones Coach Gomez does not want to see. Saucier inbounds now, NFA with a little bit of pressure. This is Monahan. She's given up her dribble, needs some help. That's Bibbo.
You see York is really guarding Deleva Beauchene very tightly. No help side defense, face guarding her. Trying to deny her the ball. She gets it there.
Yeah, now they switch off. Stringer on Deleva Beauchene. Orchid's got to be careful. Right into Monahan, up and no good. And a follow through goes in, 5-5. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the first.
Yeah, Emily's got to be careful there.
She sure does.
With those one-on-one matchups.
Nice press break, can't finish. Orchid rebound to the Centaurs, and here comes Saucier. York causing some trouble. Emily back up to Nevaeh, up for 2. Nice play there. Emily's got great hands, and she finds herself in that position quite a bit. And, you know, Nevaeh she's all over the place, so we'll take advantage of those every time we can get it. I think we got away with one there. Rebound by Bowles, and here we go. Wildcats up 7-5. Stringer in the corner. Orchid top of the key. She's not going to shoot from there. Nevaeh's going to get him settled. Let's see what we can draw up here. It's Atchison in the corner. Remember, she's just a freshman. Orchid's a junior. Looking to go over Monahan. No good. Rebound pulled down by Reynolds. And here comes Woodstock the other way. Just over 2 minutes left in the first. 7-5 NFA. Low scoring game. Good defense, Orchid, but the pass got through to Bibbo. Her basket was no good. Coach Gomez is hot. She's still looking for stuff. Atchison on the left side. CC's calling out the play. Here they go. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. Bowles was looking for Stringer backdoor, but Brooke will take it herself. That's no good. A little bit out of control. Rebounded by Deleva Beauchene. And here comes Reynolds. Reynolds to Bibbo. No good. Monahan and Atchison fight for it. Alternating possession. Wildcat ball. 1:27 left in the first. NFA clinging to the 7-5 lead.
Yeah, I mean, the tempo and pace right now is what NFA wants. They're able to set up their half-court defense most of the time. A couple times they've taken some shots that have ricocheted wild, and Woodstock's gotten a run out. That's not what they want.
Sydney Anderson, number 14, checked in for Woodstock. Turnover NFA. Let's hope that's on Bowles. Bowles and Orcutt were both there. He's going to give it to Bowles. I think Coach Gomez is going to be happy with that, not happy with that result, but happier with that decision. So that was Saucier, first basket of the night for her.
And you see that 1-3-1 half-court pressure is really bothering NFA right now. They need to reverse the ball. There's no trap, so they need to reverse the ball and cause the zone to shift so that they can get diagonal passes or get openings into the middle.
Woodstock takes the lead now in the traditional three-point play, 8-7. 1:04 left here in the first. Out of bounds, NFA ball. Shot clock resets to 35. Which I didn't think it would there. I thought it would have kept going.
Well, kickball.
Kickball does reset. Yep. Here's York. The basket will put the Wildcats back in the lead. She's directing traffic from the top of the key. Cece's going to throw it up from long range, and that's good. 10-8, Cece Atchison. First three-pointer of the game comes from the Wildcats. 45 seconds left. Shot clock's at 34, so NFA should get another possession. And let's see what we can do defensively. And here comes York. Second or third breakaway of the night, and that's good. That's 5 unanswered points for NFA. Shot clock is now off. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Woodstock answers right away. That's Monahan. She has the range. It's not, they're mostly looking for her underneath, but clearly she's got range. 12-11 now, 15 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Atchison looking for another one. Stringer up for the rebound, alternating possession. This one's going to go Woodstock way.
Good job breaking the pressure that time. They got it to the middle. They got it to Emily in the middle, and she was able to look opposite and find CC in the corner for a wide open three. Good looking stroke, just off by a bit.
Yeah, I can't argue with that shot selection, I don't think. And another question here at the table. I do believe the arrow should be going. No, this should be Woodstock. This should be Woodstock ball. But for some reason, the arrow is pointing the other way, unless Bob had a little trigger finger there. But here we go. So the big issue here is let's not get a foul on Emily in the last 6 seconds.
Or Nevaeh.
Or Nevaeh. And we have .2 left. Not much you can do from here unless we have somebody that can handle a long-range bomb and a lob.
It's got to be a tip. Can't shoot it with less than .3.
So there it is. First quarter ends. Wildcats 12, Centaurs 11. And first impressions, Coach.
Yeah, I think it's as advertised. A little bit sloppy at times, but the competitive nature of both teams and the matchup that we were looking for, going into the game in terms of two teams that are looking to be the champions of Division I and the ECC. They've come to play, and now it's going to come down to who executes, who makes more baskets, who stays out of foul trouble. I think the big story of quarter one is Jordan Baykent has 2 fouls for NFA, so NFA playing a little bit smaller than they would have liked.
So what do you do
Orcutt and York, Mike, Orcutt and York both have 1 foul, so got to be careful.
So what do you do now with Baykent? Does she sit this quarter? Do you ride the flow of the game here? What's the mindset that Coach Gomez is going through with one of her key players on the bench with 2?
Yeah, so in high school basketball, just much like college basketball, 5 fouls and you're out, 5 personal fouls and you're out of the game. So for me, I was always, you get 2 fouls in the first half and you get 3 fouls in the second half. But there are some exceptions to that rule, and the exception would be if your team's not playing well.
Right.
So as long as, as I say that, throw it all out.
Yeah, throw it all out.
And that's,
why
and that's why I'm up here with you, Mike. So my point was going to be, as long as your team's playing well, you steal as many minutes on the bench as you can. But exactly, that's why I no longer coach.
So NFA starts out with York. This is Atchison. She's trying to go inside to Orcutt. Bad pass. Baykent's got to be careful there on the ground. See what she can do offensively. Shot's no good. So it's Bowles, Atchison, York, Orcutt, and Baykent for NFA. We've got Monahan. Number 11 is new in the game. That's Sophia Sarkis with a wild shot, no good. Baykent with the rebounds. Sydney Anderson, Kaylee Saucier, and Vivian Bibbo on the floor for Woodstock. NFA 12, Woodstock 11, just underway here in the second quarter, 7:15 left on the clock. Nevaeh York directing traffic. I think trying to find a way to get inside, but Atchison, I thought she was going to launch one there, Coach. Let's see, we got the shot clock is at 8, so we got to get something going here. Nice play to Baykent, up and in. 14-11. Jordan Baykent making an immediate contribution here in the second quarter. This is Saucier. They let her get too far in there, but we'll take that one.
Yeah, and offensively, Coach Gomez knows her team better than anybody knows her team. And offensively, I think they need Jordan out there to, maintain scoring with the Centaurs.
At least the threat of it, right?
Exactly.
Olivia Beauchesne is back on the court for the Centaurs. York running into trouble here. Again, that's the situation where we didn't have Emily in the middle, but Nevaeh causing the jump ball, which is going to stay with Woodstock since NFA had possession in the quarter. So that was a spot where Emily had been in the middle before, and she wasn't there. So we ran ourselves into some trouble again. Nevaeh is wreaking havoc up front, which is good. We got to travel there. (14-11), 6:21 left in the second. This is going to be Atchison, and Woodstock's up again in their press. Let's see how we do with this one. Orchid, Atchison, York. CC back to Nevaeh, over the line.
I think as long as NFA's patient in getting it over half court, they'll be fine. Sometimes the threat of pressure causes unforced errors.
Travel on Orchid. She was a little indecisive there what she wanted to do. 5:58 left in the first half. Petra Berry, number 25, checking in for NFA for the first time. She's going to give Emily a break. Petra's only a sophomore, and let's see, this is Saucier. Saucier to Monahan. Monahan stuck at the top of the key. That's a three-pointer from Sophia Sarkis. I don't think that one was in the scouting report. 14-14, 5:34 left to go, first half. Tie game, back and forth, back and forth.
10-second violation there.
They actually gave us a couple extra because it's 23 on the shot clock. So we had 12 and still couldn't do it.
Yeah, I guess the refs now have to adjust to the fact that
they're being watched.
Well, I mean, that brings up an interesting discussion though, because it should be based on the refs count,
right.
You know, not on the scoreboards count. So the ref knows exactly when that person touches the ball, and they start their count when the ball is inbounded.
Sophia Sarkis got inside for a layup and missed it, but those another great opportunity for her just a couple minutes into her playing time. So Wildcats got a lockdown on her a little bit. This is Berry now to Atchison. Berry's looking inside for Bay-Kent. Jordan with a nice move. Can't follow or can't finish, but there's Berry to follow. I tell you, she had 10 yesterday against Killingly, which was a great effort for her.
Yeah, I think she's the X factor for this NFA team. If you have three bigs that can score like that inside, that's a matchup nightmare for other teams.
So that's Sydney Anderson, number 14 for Woodstock. We got a timeout on the floor, NFA timeout. What'd she see there? I was surprised to get that.
Well, she probably didn't like the easy basket that was given up. Going to make an adjustment here, maybe against the pressure, because you know that every time Woodstock scores, they're going to put that 1-3-1.
Right.
Yeah, so make sure that they don't turn the ball over here. Maybe make some adjustment on the defensive ends to make sure that those easy basket opportunities don't happen again. You know, with Orcutt off the floor.
So that was the first time out of the game. 30-second timeout for NFA. Leaves them with 4. Of course, every team gets 5 per game. 16-16. I think it's a little lower scoring than we thought, but certainly as tight as we thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, for NFA, Coach Gomez would probably say, this is about where we're at.
Yes.
It's about what we expected, you know. So.
And here's the 1-3-1 press setting up. Monahan in the middle and Sydney Anderson at the point here for Woodstock. Bowles is going to inbound on the floor with York, Atchison, Berry, and Bay-Kent. Woodstock has Monahan, Anderson, Sophia Sarkis, Kaylee Saucier. And one, I can't see, there it is, Isabel DeLiva Beauchesne. No problem there for the Wildcats. Atchison with a wild shot, not sure what that was. Pulled down by Woodstock. Bay-Kent with a handle on it. Bowles back up, no good. I think Brooke was hoping for a foul there. Jordan tried, but stepped out of bounds. Can't argue with the effort.
Yeah, it's been the story all season long, just getting those baskets to fall.
A little bit of pressure here from the Wildcats. This is Saucier, Bowles on her. Yeah, York is all over DeLiva Beauchesne. Sarkis misses the three. Anderson with the rebound. Saucier on the baseline. Back to Sarkis. That's Anderson. Her shot, no good. Bay-Kent in the hands of York. Here we go, Wildcats. 3:41 left in the half, 16 all. Throwing the extra pass there and back up top to York.
And Fay likes to run their offense out of this 1-4 high set.
Berry, York, going to draw a foul there. Only I believe the second foul of the quarter, or the first. I think Bob might have been a little trigger happy there on the clock. Stringer, Brooke replaces Brooke. Brooke Stringer, a junior, in for Brooke Bowles, a senior. Number 3 for number 4. And that is the first foul of the quarter on Woodstock. Nevaeh loses her dribble. This is Bay-Kent inside to Berry. Loses the handle, but I think that's staying here. Yes, it is. Last touch by Woodstock. Here's where I love to see what Coach Gomez comes up with. Drawing these plays up off of the inbounds. She had a beautiful one last night against Killingly. Let's see if we can pull a layup out of this one here. Or a three-pointer. Atchison long range, no good. Weak side rebound. And some arms flailing there. It's a hard foul for me.
But it's also tough. Like, get back. You know, like, what are you gonna do there? It's 6.5 dozen. You know, if you get the steal, then works out. But if you don't get the steal, you're probably getting called for the foul.
That was Stringer. That's her first on the team. 3 minutes left in the first half. 16-16. York is relentless on defense. Bay-Kent out.
Gotta be
come
careful,
on.
yeah.
That's.
Well, what it is, Mike, is you just got to know.
I know. What's she going to do out there?
Yep,
What's she going to do to you out there?
You got to know that, like, it's not going to hurt you. You're in foul trouble. The aggressiveness, the intensity, probably not a foul at the next level, but in high school basketball probably is.
So that's 3 on Bay-Kent. She's replaced by Orchid. Shot is up, no good. Monahan with the rebound. This is Saucier. Nice pass underneath. Nice pass to Sophia Sarkis. Sarkis has made quite a difference. That's at least 4 off the bench for her in a short amount of time, but Emily Saucier with a great pass. Stringer, a fine pass to Orchid, and we're tied, 18-18. Great possessions there for both teams.
Yeah, great passing by both teams. Both of these teams execute and share the ball very well.
So this is Anderson. Anderson's out to Saucier. We've got Monahan, Delivia Beauchesne, and Sophia Sarkis for Woodstock. That's Monahan. Emily got away with another one.
Certainly did.
So 20-18, Centaurs take the 2-point lead with the 2-minute mark left here in the first half. Atchison loses a dribble. Wildcats got to get the ball over the floor, over the half-court line. This press has given him more trouble than I thought it would. You know, it's funny. They're either breaking it quickly or they're not.
It's the length. It's the appearance of pressure that's causing unforced errors. Woodstock doesn't necessarily have the quickness, but they have the length, and that's taking away vision.
Berry, Orcutt, this is Stringer. Orcutt underneath to Berry. Petra off glass, no good. Good look though, nice pass, nice entry pass from Emily. Oh, that's another good pass there inside, but off the foot of number 5, Regan Reynolds. Woodstock resets. This is Reynolds, she's got Berry on her. She tries to take her to the right side, back to Monahan, underneath, no good. I tell you, Emily's getting away with some stuff under there, but that's okay. She knows what she can play with. Stringer to tie the game. Those are the ones that hurt. And here we come the other way. Nice pass. Anderson to Saucier, who can't finish. And now Nevaeh is going back the other way. And Petra Berry, I think, is a little bit gassed. Atchison, no good. Emily rips it away on the rebound. Back to CC. Wide open 3. No good. Back iron. Stringer. Oh, nice pass to Orcutt. And she'll go to the line for 2. And I think both Emily and Petra Berry will benefit here from this little stoppage in play with 47 seconds left in the first half.
Coach Gomez going to the bench. 2 new players are going to be coming in for the Cats now.
Yeah, we're going to have Sophia Miner, number 21. She's a sophomore. As Orcutt makes the first, then Bowles is back in. So we're going to see Berry go out, and I believe Cece Atchison. So Emily's back at the line with 1, with a chance to tie the game here at 20, with 47 seconds left to go in the first half. And we're tied. Great look there at the line. Woodstock back the other way. D'Aliva Beauchesne. York has been in her pocket all night. Only picked up the 1 foul, which is a good thing. You can see, Stringer was all over Saucier, just not letting her get the ball. When she did, she's too far away to do anything with it. And look how she's on her right now. I love to see that.
Yeah.
Like they're taking that away.
No help side, face guarding.
Here comes York. 16 seconds. Shot clock is off. We're tied at 20. The clock is at 10. What's Nevaeh going to do here? Oh, she was thinking 3, but takes it inside. Orcutt. 1 extra pass. Didn't need it. Good if it goes. No good. Well, hey, we're just where we were when we started the game. 20-20. End of the first half.
Yeah, it's everything that we'd hoped it would be from a competitive standpoint. A lot of shots left on the rim or missing the rim. So,
and I do think both teams.
Yeah, both teams. Yeah.
You can't. I know obviously we'd like to see more of those drop from NFA, but both teams. And but I think an even matchup, as you said. So we are. I'm going to get to have a conversation. I'm going to call this Tales from the Table. This is Bob Maloff making his way up. Bob has been the voice of NFA for as long as I know and sings the national anthem and does football games and basketball games. And I think Coach Giusti's going to go down and check on scores and fouls so we can give you accurate information for the second half. And as we are tied 20-20, Bob, you can throw that headset on right there. And now for the subtle tones of our, the voice of NFA, Bob Maloff. Bob, thanks for coming up and getting me out of a logjam here.
My pleasure.
So I'm calling this Tales from the Table.
Tales from the Table.
So first of all, how long have you been running the clock, doing the announcing, singing the national anthem?
This is my 19th season.
So you have seen a lot.
I've seen a little bit, yeah.
So is there a memory that stands out for you on both the boys and girls side?
Oh man.
When you you saw all the girls winning teams. Right?
I've watched a lot of good basketball here on both sides of the aisle, if you will.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick one. I mean, I have some funny stories with regards to referees. We had a game one night. Excuse me. And there was a jump ball called, and it was going one way.
Yeah.
Team called timeout. Everybody went to the benches. The referees forgot who had the ball. So they're like, everybody in the gym is screaming. The officials come over and they ask us at the table, what's going on? So you guys are trying to give the ball to the wrong team.
To the wrong team.
They got confused. Because what normally happens is the official has a whistle or a coin or something in their pocket.
Oh, and they switch.
I
did not know that.
Well, they switched it after the jump ball call, and then the team called timeout. When they came back out, they switched it again. So that's, from a funny side. But like I say, I've watched a lot of good basketball over the 19 years I've been doing this. I do it just because I enjoy doing it.
So you've been here as a campus safety person.
Correct.
Right? You had a life before that at Norwich
did.
Public Utilities,
Yes,
is that
sir.
correct?
Yep.
So, this is kind of in the blood a little bit. So tell me how did the anthem start? Did we just not have somebody one night?
So that's probably the most embarrassing story I have in almost 65 years of my life.
Okay.
So I was doing a boys lacrosse game, and I'm ex-Navy. I'm a Navy veteran. And so I love the national anthem.
Right.
I'm very patriotic. So I had the anthem on my phone, and I had been playing it, for probably, 8 or 9 years on my phone. And I'm doing a boys lacrosse game, and I pressed start, and nothing happened. And I pressed start again, and I panicked. And I'm looking around, and everybody's looking at me like, dude, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And I'm thinking, well, you know the words to it. Just sing it, stupid. So I did. So I started singing the anthem, and it's kind of taken off from there.
That's awesome. How many years ago was that?
Oh, good Lord. It's probably 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago.
So, it'd take a long time to figure out how many times you've sung that.
Oh, yeah. I have. Well, again, football,
Right?
soccer, boys and girls,
Yep.
field hockey,
Okay.
basketball, boys and girls,
Yep.
wrestling, boys and girls lacrosse, softball, baseball, and I think, did I forget anything?
I don't think so. We don't have a crew team.
Well, actually, I sang one evening for the athletic awards.
All right.
I think that's about it.
Any professional singing training in your?
Absolutely none. I did sing in chorus in middle school.
All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair. So since you see everything, I mean, what's your gut on this team this year? I mean, we're 7-5, could very easily be 9-3.
Yeah, I think we lack some discipline. There's a lot of silly mistakes, a lot of silly turnovers, and they're going to get better. I mean, they're better. They're better. Certainly, a lot better this year than they were last year.
I think the tide's turning a little bit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And you're going to see it, especially with CeCe Atchison.
Yeah.
She's a freshman.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Sarah Erickson. Everybody knows who Sarah is going on to have a fantastic college career.
Sure has.
Was probably, and again, I've seen. I don't have any particular favorite when it
Right.
comes to who I've seen play, but Sarah's the one most recent that comes to mind, and CeCe has the court awareness that she has.
Yeah.
But she's about 4 inches taller.
Yeah.
So that's going to make the difference in the world, and they're fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
And what are your sense on the boys? Boys had a big win tonight in E.O. Smith, 88-77.
Oh, that's nice.
I think maybe the talent isn't there as in the past, but Coach Brown has them working their tails off.
Coach Brown is in a well-deserved position. The kids love to play for him.
Right.
It's been that way since he was the freshman coach here about 4 years ago. The only thing the boys lack is height.
Right.
They're as athletic as any team in the ECC. And again, much like when Coach Scarlatta was coaching the girls, they don't play an easy schedule.
Right.
They go outside the conference and they're playing teams from across the state.
Yep.
And you're gonna play those teams in the state tournament if you get that far.
Right. Try to get better during the season
absolutely.
to be ready for tournament time.
You don't get better at playing patsies.
I was impressed when the boys were here against New London, and I know the final score was ended up a little bit higher, but we played with them. And
Absolutely.
They played hard, and it was fun to watch.
And they were supposed to blow us out.
Right.
I talked to people before that game that come to the boys' games all the time, and
Yep.
it was supposed to be a 30-point blowout. And at one point, we were up.
Yeah, I think both teams unselfish, and I feel good. I've been here for 4 years, and obviously I came in when the boys finished 23-0 before
Yep.
things stopped. And
Yeah.
The following year, and the girls, I saw the Sarah and Varela year, the last year there, but a little bit of struggle since, but I feel like we're in a good place.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And the singing is always good, no matter where we are.
Well, thank you.
Tales from the Table. I think, next year we're going to need to find a sponsor for this.
Sounds good.
Tales from the Table should be sponsored by like a restaurant or something, right?
Well, we can work on that. We'll have to work on it.
We'll find that out for next year. Maybe we'll do a little every game feature. We'll go into those 19 years of stories
man.
and memories and see what we can pull out.
I guess I'll have to go back and start writing stuff down.
Bob, I appreciate you coming up.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. Hand the headset back over there to the coach.
Will do. Here you go, Coach.
So it's 20-20 at the half. Woodstock and NFA are tied, and I'll say this, Coach Bob would not let on to his favorite team or his favorite players for a man who's seen 19 years of amazing basketball in this gym.
Mm-hmm. And I was here for all of them.
Right, but some great stories.
Yeah, I'm sure. If it's Tales from the Table,
Yeah.
I want it to be an Italian restaurant.
Okay.
I want the chicken parm. I want the garlic bread.
Right.
I need it. The marinara.
I think we can work on that.
I would love that.
As we look at some of the things for season 2,
Yep.
is a fine dining establishment to step up and sponsor Tales from the Table.
Well, somebody out there of our thousands of listeners tonight must be a restaurateur and can either step up themselves or
Get get us the
talk to one of their friends.
yeah, get us the right ones. So you got some halftime stats for us, Coach.
I do, Mike. So Eva Monahan leads all scorers with 7 points. She also has no fouls, so that's critical. Also for Woodstock, Sophia Sarkis came in, and she got 5 points. She's the second leading scorer for Woodstock. Vivian Bebo with 3, Sydney Anderson with 2, Kaylee Saucier with 3. For the Wildcats, we're led by Emily Orcutt. She has 6 points and 1 foul. Nevaeh York has 5 points, 1 foul. Cece Atchison has our only 3-pointer. She has 3 points. Jordan Baykent has 2 points, but she has 3 personal fouls. And Petra Berry has 2 points to round out the NFA scoring. 20-20, Mike.
So what are you saying? You're Coach Gomez. You got the team in there. You know, if you look back to the first game of the season, you were down almost 15 against this team at halftime. And obviously here you're tied. Anybody's game in the second half. What's your message?
Yeah, just one possession at a time. You got to take care of the basketball. That's the biggest thing that needs to happen in terms of adjustments. How are we going to handle their 1-3-1 half-court zone? I'm not even going to call it a press. It's just a zone. They're not really forcing you to do anything. Don't get sped up or don't make decisions that you don't have to make. Reverse the ball. I do like when they put somebody in the middle. Even though Monahan is there covering the middle, it kind of takes some attention away from the other defenders in Woodstock because they're kind of looking at that offensive player in the middle, so it allows the people on the perimeter to be a little bit more open. I call that the corners offense, 4 out, 1 in. So I think that's the big adjustment for Woodstock. I think they also don't want to turn the ball over against the NFA man-to-man pressure. So both coaches probably with similar messages at halftime. Take care of the ball. Let's get shots up.
So on the floor for NFA, we've got Baykent, York, Stringer, Atchison, and Orca. I think the surprise there is Baykent out with 3. And for Woodstock, we've got Reynolds, we've got Monahan. Nevaeh scoops in, can't get it to fall. Baykent rebound, can't get it to fall. That's staying here. All right, so the first 5 in the second half for Woodstock, again, we got Reynolds, DeLeva Beauchene, Saucier, Monahan, Bibbo, the original starters. That foul was on Reynolds. That's her second. Nice inbounds play. Again, can't get it to fall. Orchid's going to stay here. Coach, late breaking news, just had a text in from a potential sponsor.
Oh, yes.
For Tales from the Table.
Oh, I love it.
A local Italian destination.
I love it.
We might be onto something here.
I love it.
I'm going to follow up on that lead tomorrow morning. All right, Nevaeh York coming close on. Yeah, there it is. Thought we might see a timeout come there. So 7:25, 35 seconds gone. Wildcats with a couple of opportunities, unable to capitalize. This is Bibbo. Atchison's on her. Trying to get inside again. Orchid's causing all sorts of traffic jams in there. Monahan taking 4 steps, no call. Baykent held her own there. Nice rebound, and here comes Nevaeh.
Yeah, got the block shot and the rebound.
Nevaeh pulls it back out. Is she going to go inside?
This is quite the matchup inside Baykent and Monahan.
Nevaeh, nice, looking for a foul, gets nothing. Baykent tips it out, and here comes DeLeva Beauchene back the other way. Monahan is going to try another long 3. No good. I don't think Coach Fleeton was a fan of that shot. Atchison, I like that. I like Baykent running the floor. I'm okay with that. You're not, clearly.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Isn't that one of those good turnovers?
That is one of the good turnovers.
All right, as long as we're in agreement on that.
As good as a turnover can be.
All right, no score here in the first minute and a half of the third quarter. Still tied at 20. Orchid, nice play. Kept her body away, was able to block the shot against Reynolds. It'll stay Woodstock ball.
NFA likes to turn up the defense in the third quarter. Yesterday, I'm not sure Killingly scored in the third quarter.
I think you might be right. All right, this is DeLeva Beauchene now to Saucier. Oh, Atchison. Oh, tie it up, right?
Close.
Tough call.
Yes, tough call.
Tough call on Atchison. That's going to be her first. Each team with 1 so far in the third quarter. And remember, when we get to 5 in the quarter, it's an automatic 2-shot foul. Tough play there.
Can be Orcutt or Baycent. Looks like it's going to be Orcutt. Big break for NFA.
That's 2 on Emily. Baycent has 3. That would have been her 4th. This puts Monahan to the line for 2. She's so far the leading scorer of the game with 7. Misses the first. Still looking for our first point of the third quarter at the 6:12 mark. 20-20. Monahan shot up, and we're still scoreless. Orcutt rips down the boards. Here's Atchison. Cece's trying to make a move on Saucier, not allowing that. Over to Stringer. Trying to find one of the bigs underneath. Baycent down to Orcutt. Shot clock's at 14. Here's Baycent. Back to Stringer. Shot clock's in single digits. Nevaeh's got to make a move here as we're down to 5. She gets a nice screen. Runner. No good, but Emily takes down the rebound. Oh, nice move there. Saucier behind her back to evade Stringer. And she takes the ball back up the other end. Saucier in the corner to Bibbo. That's Reynolds, long range 3. No good, doesn't touch anything. Gets it back. Oh, I don't know, Coach. I think Coach Gomez should be hot on this one.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar with the beautiful Alumni Gymnasium on the campus of the Norwich Free Academy, we are in the crow's nest, so we have a great angle. And from there, it definitely looked like hand on ball. Remember, when you're an official, you're at the level of the player, so they might have saw something different.
But a missed free throw on the first one there from Reynolds. So Orcutt has to sit. She's not happy. Petra Berry comes in and maybe,
X factor.
I think we've got, number one, we've got a great sponsorship situation in Tales of the Table, and we've got a great nickname for Petra, the X Factor Berry. So Reynolds makes 1. The first point scored 2.5 minutes into the quarter. 21-20. Woodstock leads, low scoring game. Atchison, Berry, X Factor, lead. There it is. I'm just going to have to come up with a new call for that. X marks the spot, something.
I love it.
22-21. She's just so much more composed this year. I think that, she got some varsity minutes last year, and I think she was clearly a rookie. But this year she's a little bit more composed.
Monahan took it right at Baycent, knowing that she can't foul.
Absolutely. 23-22 Woodstock. Atchison lose a dribble. There's Nevaeh. Nevaeh was finding her way to the basket early on in the game. Hasn't been able to do it since. X Factor, left hand, no good. Jordan with the rebound. Shot clock is in single digits. Not sure if the Wildcats are aware of that. Atchison is, no good. Rebound Monahan. This is Deliva Beauchene. 23-22, 4:22 left to go in the third quarter. Wildcats looking for a stop. Travel.
It's really critical. Woodstock likes to run that high ball screen with Monahan and pick and roll that. One of the possessions in the second quarter, Nevaeh got caught going behind the screen, and that opened up an easy basket for Monahan. The last couple times, she's been able to get over the screen, and that prevents the pick and roll situation.
Ball out of bounds. Last touch Centaurs, NFA ball. Nevaeh will inbound it to Stringer. Brooke gets it into Petra. Berry to Baycent. 10 feet, no good. Rebound Reynolds. Reynolds looking to push. Here's Deliva Beauchene. Nevaeh with a good stop on her there. .345 left in the third. Oh, look at that. So quick up top. I've been impressed with Nevaeh's defense tonight more than anything. And now we need to get some of our offense going. Shot clock at 25, 23-22 Woodstock, 3:30 left in the third quarter. We were tied at 20 at the half. So our low-scoring affair has continued here in the third quarter. Coach Gomez wants to talk about it. Looks like
3-2 this quarter, Mike. So
a little sloppier, you know.
the
little
defense,
sloppier.
well, adjustments too. I think both coaches at halftime knew that they were going to have to take some things away that they gave up in the first half. Both teams kind of taking care of the ball, using a lot of clock on each possession. So in the first half, we had a lot of turnovers lead to transition opportunities for both teams and get some points. Not any transition baskets yet this half, and most possessions going deep into the shot clock, which is why we're more than halfway through the quarter with only 5 points scored.
Right. You know, it's interesting. It's like they were feeling each other out in the first half, and they're still feeling each other out in the second half. No one's able to break away. I think NFA maybe had a 4-point lead early on, maybe a 3-point lead. Nothing more than that. And, you know, it feels like a 1-point lead is significant right now. But, you know, it'd be curious to see what Coach Gomez is going to do here with Orca. Is she going to try to keep her out for the remainder of the quarter? I would think that's what she's going to do. As long as, you know, I think the game, either they're ahead or within 1 or 2, that's probably the move. Bowles checked in for Stringer at that timeout. She's going to bring inbounds to Nevaeh. Off the pick from Bay Kent. The roll was not there. Berry inside to Bay Kent. Over Monahan. No good. Atchison. Coach, here we are up again in the crow's nest. That one looked pretty good for the Wildcats.
Looked like it was off blue from our vantage point, but
we're not in the striped shirt.
No.
Saucier to Deliva Beauchene. That's Monahan working on Bay Kent, who doesn't back away. Give her credit there. Atchison helps. Bibbo wide open, 3, no good. Monahan, that's going to stay Woodstock ball. Petra Berry last touched.
NFA's done a great job of.
I think neither one of us are making the right decisions.
Let's just stick to commentating and not predicting. But NFA's done a great job of preventing Woodstock's 2 best 3-point shooters from hitting a deep shot today.
From even getting many deep shots as well.
Yeah.
So Bay Kent takes a breather and Orchid's back in. So same situation. Emily muscles up strong. I'm impressed with that possession there.
Well, you got to keep both hands straight up so the refs can see them. That's where you get in trouble when one is dropped down. Then they can get you for using that off arm on the body.
This is Atchison, top of the key. Shot clock's just under 20. 2:25 left in the third. Centaurs with a 1-point lead, 23-22. Bowles gets the ball from Atchison. A nice pick from Orchid.
Beautiful.
It's just bounce pass there, Brooke. And here comes Deliva Beauchene. Saucier, who's been quiet. Of course, I probably just jinxed, but no. Wildcats. Who's gonna still be Wildcats ball?
Got away with one there.
Pinball bouncing around.
Got away with the.
So Regan Reynolds takes the bench for Woodstock. Sophia Sarkis comes in. Now she came in first half, scored 5 quick ones. So let's see offensively if she's able to light a spark for the Centaurs. Atchison gives up the dribble. Bowles, loose ball. Monahan up to Bibbo. Hammered, nothing. Atchison the other way. Will take it. Cece's looking to create some offense for herself. No good. There's Monahan on the rebound. Cece celebrated a birthday yesterday with the win over Killingly. I'm not saying that's not a foul on Nevaeh York, but after what we saw in the previous possession, I have trouble with that. But what are you going to do? Nevaeh is second, team's fourth. It's going to put Saucier on the line. First one good. Pure shooter here. Stringer checks back in for Bowles.
4 points for Saucier now.
I'm going to predict 5 after this free throw, but we'll see. 25-22. Woodstock with its largest lead of the game, which is 3. 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Wildcats have only scored 2. Need to get something going. Here's Stringer 3, and there it is. Brooke Stringer ties it up at 25.
Her first points of the game, and
Couldn't come at a better time.
Absolutely.
Bibbo inside. Now we got an offensive battle. 27-25, just over a minute left in the third. This is Orcutt. And now York. Shot clock's at 20, 51 seconds left in the third. 27-25 Woodstock. NFA looking to tie here. Nevaeh's going to go inside, hoping for a foul, and she gets it.
Yeah, sold that one well.
She sure did.
Threw her body into the defender.
We just had the Emmy Awards the other night. I don't think the Oscars are quite yet. Early nominations for next year. So that foul was on Monahan, and that's only her first. So no concern there for Coach Fleeton.
Yeah, no real foul trouble for the Centaurs. And both of NFA's 2 primary post players still at 3 fouls, so that's pretty good at this point in the ball game. Kind of survived that foul scare.
Sophia Minor seeing some more minutes here for NFA. She just checked in. Give Atchison a break. Nevaeh ties the game at 27.
7 points for York.
And 7 points for each team here in the third quarter. So the shot clock's at 30, the game clock's at 37. So NFA's got a chance to get the ball back no matter what happens here for Woodstock. Wow. That's Sarkis again on a nice drive from the baseline, and she has been instant offense as much as there can be for Woodstock. Minor with a chance. No good. Stringer, nice rebound. Orcutt, tie game. 29-29, 12 seconds on the clock. Shot clock obviously off. Up the court it goes to Sarkis. She's been the weapon. That's Delivia Beauchene. Long range 3, no good. Out of bounds, going to stay Woodstock possession with 0.7 seconds left. So we're just looking to not give up a layup here. Saucier is going to be the trigger. That's no good. So here we go, Coach. We are tied at 29 at the end of 3. We were tied after 2 at 20. So 9 points apiece there in the third quarter. And we got the barn burner we were talking about.
Yeah, in the box score, all rebounds count as 1. But that offensive rebound by Brooke Stringer here at the end of the third quarter will be one of those plays of the game if the Wildcats end up prevailing. The air ball jump shot, she tracks down the loose ball, immediately finds an open Emily Orcutt for the tying basket, and that gave NFA some momentum here going into the fourth quarter, tying this game at 29. So, kind of what we expected. 2 good teams. They were going to fight to the end, and now it comes down to these next 8 minutes to see who's going to get the W.
So Bay-Kent and Orcutt is the main foul trouble for NFA. They have 3 apiece. Nobody for Woodstock has more than 2. That's Regan Reynolds. And, it's balanced scoring on everybody. For me, the wild card is Sarkis for Woodstock, number 11. And she's back on the court along with Saucier, Monahan, Bibbo, and Delivia Beauchene.
Yeah, Sarkis for the Centaurs has 7 points and not in the scouting report, so to speak. And for the Wildcats, Petra Berry with 4 points as our third forward and giving us some good minutes with Orcutt and Bay-Kent in foul trouble.
So NFA starts with Orcutt, Bay-Kent, York, Stringer, and Sophia Minor. Sarkis going to try to keep that momentum going. Long range, no good. Minor tracks down the rebound and gets out of trouble. Some confidence here from Coach Gomez and Sophia Minor. Saw some time yesterday, seeing a little bit more time today. A lot of JV action. I like it. Stringer can't get it to fall, and we're still tied at 29. 30 seconds gone in the fourth. Possession arrow favors the Wildcats. Fouls reset, so none on either team right now. Sarkis, reverse, no good. Nevaeh pulls down a rebound. She's got Minor ahead. Nice catch and turn. And we'll set up the offense. 1 minute gone. We're at 7 now in the fourth, tied at 29. Nevaeh is calling out the play. Stringer wide, Minor wide. Got to think we're trying to get it inside to one of them. Nevaeh, long range three. That's no good. Great tip from Orcutt. Minor pulls it down. Back to Emily. She's in a little bit of trouble, but back to Minor, back to York. You're right, both these teams going deep in the possession on the shot clock. Offensive rebound like that. Oh, that's an over the top right there. Gomez is fired up. Back the other way for Woodstock. This is Saucier. Stringer's in her face. Monahan. Jordan in that low defensive position, but there goes Sarkis. Puts them ahead, 31-29.
Sarkis with 9, tied for the lead, the game high with Monahan.
Nice pass, Bay-Kent, Orcutt tied. 31-31, 5:55 left to go in the game.
Game high 10 for Orcutt.
Delivia Beauchene, top of the key, guarded by York. Minor in the face of Bebo. That's Monahan, Bay-Kent on her. Orcutt guards Sarkis. Puts the ball on the floor, back to Delivia Beauchene. Shot clock's in single digits. Bebo now is going to drive the middle. Ball's tipped away. Monahan. Can't argue with that. You know, nice tip, picks up, right place, right time.
11 for Monahan. She leads all scorers.
33-31, Centaurs. York to Stringer, back to York. Inside Bay-Kent. Monahan was all over her, nothing. Emily's going to try long range. She's going to get it.
Feeling it.
Showing her range. Feed the hot hand. Tied at 33. 5 minutes left. Coach Gomez is imploring her team.
Need a stop.
Nevaeh makes there it is. That started with Nevaeh's defense. Oh, Nevaeh again. That's fun to watch. Here she comes. Oh, goes around, up. Oh, no good. Emily, strong rebound. There it is. 35-33. What a good sequence that was for the Wildcats.
And 14 for Orcutt now.
4:25 left in the game. Wildcats clinging to a 2-point lead. There it is, another one. That's all Brooke Stringer. Sophia Minor traveled, got away with it. But good defense, good pressure. And a timeout by Coach Fleeton. Fans recognizing some good basketball there. 35-33, fourth quarter. Turning into the Emily Orcutt show a little bit here, offensively.
Yeah, and you know, she's been their most consistent scorer all season, and that's the unselfishness of this team, knowing that they need to find the hot hands. Both teams just playing really hard right now, and sometimes games like this come down to how the ball bounces. You know, a couple possessions ago,
right,
the ball bounced to Woodstock for an easy layup, and then just a possession ago, it bounced back to NFA. So getting some good minutes from the bench too. You know, the sophomore Sophia Minor hasn't played a lot of varsity minutes, but the Wildcats without Nia Stone tonight, so she's getting probably those minutes that Nia would have got.
And she's done a good job
and
with it.
has done a great job, you know, in the big situation here. You know, not a capacity crowd, but an intense crowd. And for a young player who knows that there's a lot on the line, she really performed well.
And I see Coach Scarlotta down there in the crowd.
Yeah, sometimes he's on the bench, so I don't know if he
think
lost his bench card.
I think I see him on our side of the floor here, right there in the middle.
He's probably trying to get up here.
All right, here's Woodstock, throws the ball out of bounds. That's Delivia Beauchene. She was trying to get to Sydney Anderson, and that was no go there. So here comes York. 3:57 left in the fourth. 35-33. York, Atchison, Orcutt, Bay-Kent, Stringer. Those are the five on the floor for Coach Gomez's Wildcats. Feed the hot hand to Orcutt. No good. Bay-Kent, nice rebound and follow. Boy, it's nice when one big can shoot and then one big gets the rebound and fouls through. 37-33, 3.5 left to go.
Just the fourth point for Bay-Kent.
That's okay. She got the two when it mattered. Emily threw that shot off, and there's Bay-Kent to grab the rebound. So with 3:20 left here, does the shot clock start to come into play? Does Coach Gomez try to drag this down a little bit, or does she just want a good possession and a good
I think
shot?
they pretty much try to drag it down every possession because they're looking for the high-low every time.
Right.
You know, and Woodstock, for the most part, has done a good job taking it away, but that's what they're looking for every time.
Like right there. There's Orcutt, nice catch and dribble. Pass from Nevaeh, 39-33.
16 for Emily.
Largest lead of the game for either team is 6 now for the Wildcats. With 2:47 left, back to 4. Monahan, leading scorer for the Centaurs, I believe, with 11. And now we've got ourselves a 4-point game with 2:35 left to play.
Smart play by Jordan just to play straight up there. You concede the layup. You're more valuable on the floor.
Nevaeh is having trouble getting past Bibbo here. She's going to call a foul there on Bibbo. So that is the first foul. I'm sorry, the foul is on, Vivian Bibbo. That's her first, and it's only the first foul of the fourth quarter on either team. So this is York, Bay-Kent. Not sure that was the shot we were looking for. Rebound, Deliva Beauchene. Atchison causing trouble there behind her. And this is Bibbo. Saucier. That's Sydney Anderson. Deliva Beauchene trying to get into the lane. Up against the trees. Nevaeh pulls it away from her, had some help. Let's back it up here. Nice job by Nevaeh. 1:54 left, 4-point lead. And Coach Gomez is going to call a timeout. I don't know if Nevaeh took a shot there.
Yeah, well, and Gomez recognized that and took the timeout to get her point guard settled, because Stringer, another great decision, had a wide open three. You don't, in this type of game, you don't really need it. Obviously, that would have been a dagger if she took it and drilled it. But right now, the opponent for NFA is the clock first.
Right.
Woodstock second. For the Centaurs, they need to know that they can't afford to let NFA use as much clock. So because NFA had to use a timeout, this kind of benefits the Centaurs. They wouldn't have been able to call a timeout with NFA in possession of the ball. So now Coach Fleeton is able to dial up or design some pressure to try and force NFA to take a quicker shot or make a quicker pass, and maybe telling his players also that, after a trap or after a few seconds, we got to start fouling because we got to get to the bonus. We got to get to the bonus. We only have one team foul.
You sure do. So one team foul for Woodstock, none on NFA so far in the quarter. The Wildcats have 2 timeouts left. The Centaurs have 4. The possession arrow is in favor of NFA, and the clock is at 1:50. So out come Bay-Kent, Orcutt, Atchison, Stringer, and York. Atchison's going to be the trigger underneath. Coach Gomez always has a play coming out of a timeout. Let's see if we can get an easy one here. Nope. Into Orcutt.
That's okay. They got the ball in.
Yep, let's take a few seconds off the clock. We're okay with that.
A little surprised that Woodstock's just going to play standard man here, but they're going to try and get a stop. Only down 4.
There's Bay-Kent underneath. Oh, nice fake. Again, you talk about daggers. 1:25 left, 4-point game. Bibbo inside to Monahan. Bay-Kent tips it away. Oh, I don't like that. I'm sorry. 39-37. Monahan, I thought we had a jump ball there, but the referees thought otherwise.
15 for Monahan.
2-point game. 1 minute left. 39-37. So I don't want NFA to get, I don't want them to get quiet here. Take some time, yes, but we need a basket. A basket here is going to put a lot more pressure on Woodstock. Nevaeh, long-range three, no good.
Got to get back.
43 seconds left now. Only a 2-point game for the Wildcats, who not too long ago had a 6-point lead.
10-sec differential on the shot clock.
Inside to Monahan, no surprise, no good. Bacon. Now you got to be looking at a foul if you're Coach Fleeton, right?
Got to foul 4 times. Shot clock is off, Mike.
Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left, and there's one of them.
Need a timeout here. I think Coach Fleeton maybe take a timeout.
Coach Gomez is going to help him out. I think she's just calling for a 30.
Yep.
So we have 19.4 seconds left. We have 39-37 NFA. And Woodstock has committed 2 fouls in this quarter, so they have 3 more to commit if that's what Coach Fleeton wants to do. NFA has not committed any, so there's no issues there. But with the shot clock off, Woodstock's got a foul, right?
100%.
They're going to try for a steal, right?
Yeah,
they're going to try for a steal on the inbounds. They don't get it. They got a foul.
Absolutely.
And then they got to do it again. And they got to do it again.
Yep.
And they got to do it again.
Yep. Yeah, you're trying to just be aggressive and try for steals, but if you miss the steal, you foul. So you get basically 2 free shots at a steal here.
Yeah.
And then the third one, you'd send NFA to the line.
York, Atchison, Orcutt, Baykent, Stringer. Nevaeh is still struggling with something, but I think it's not going to prevent her in these last 19.4. Stringer's going to be the inbounder. I think we're going to see a lot of movement here. There's a screen. Inbound to Nevaeh. It's got to be a foul. There it is. So we're down to 14.6. So that foul took 5 seconds. That's a good formula for us. So 3 seconds left. NFA boys cheering along the girls here. 14.6, 39-37. Stringer's got to get the ball in bounds, and she does. And there's the 4th foul, I believe. So that took 2.3 seconds, so now we're at 12.3. The next foul on Woodstock is going to send NFA to the line for 2 shots. We are creeping further and further back, but get the ball in. There it is. Nice, Jordan. Here we go. Atchison layup, bingo. 41-37. 5 seconds left. 3-pointer, not going to matter. And there it is, Coach. What a win for looking Coach Gomez. I wish we had a camera just on her. 41-37 is the final. And I tell you what this does is it just shows how wide open this ECC is.
Absolutely. And, one of the factors that we didn't talk about is the distance between Woodstock Academy and Norwich Free Academy. I still contend from my coaching days, the most difficult place to play was Woodstock because of the travel, because of the environment. They always have a good crowd.
Yep.
They had good teams back then. They had a state championship team back in 2013 with the boys. And conversely, for them to come down here, it's a tough game. This environment here can cause teams to play nervous. A little curious about the end game philosophy from Coach Fleeton, but once again, not in the prediction business anymore, just kind of in the call it as I see it.
We proved that tonight, that neither one of us are going to go in the prediction business.
So I mean, they're still in a good spot, the Centaurs, as they've lost total control, but they're still
12-2,
and they still are 4-2 in the division. NFA's 3-2 in the division. Now New
London lost last night.
New London's 3-1.
They're 3-2.
They're 3-2?
They lost to Ledyard.
Okay,
so it's just gotten tighter and tighter.
But that's not a division game, right? So
correct.
Ledyard. So
my bad.
That's
ECC
all right.
game, but not a division.
That's
game.
all right. So 3-1 New London, but New London still has to play at NFA on the last game of the season. So
and they have to go to Woodstock.
And
they have one. In
Woodstock,
fact, their next game, Woodstock, on the 23rd versus New London, and next game for NFA on the 23rd at East Lyme. Now, we were able to handle East Lyme earlier this year, so here's hoping that continues down there, because that would make 6 in a row. We are at 5 in a row now, 6 out of the last 7, and improved to 8-5 overall, as you said, 3-2 in the division. Woodstock 12-2, 4-2 in the division. They are going to go up next against New London. So, look, we're going to be back at this 2 more times, Coach. We're going to be back on January 30th. We're going to do our second boys game, and we're going to watch the boys take on the Ledyard Colonels. And then we're going to be back on February 9th for the last girls' game, home game of the year, and that's going to be against the New London Whalers. So we've got 2 more opportunities to find our sponsor for Tales from the Table and to bring a little bit of added fun to these broadcasts. So any parting thoughts before we call it a night, Coach?
Not just proud of the fight from the Wildcats tonight. You know, the shots weren't going down early. They got into foul trouble. Some of the calls were frustrating to deal with, but you can't ride the roller coaster. You just got to get to that next play, and I think they did that. Their best quarter was their 4th quarter, and some people stepped up coming off the bench. You saw Petra Berry with 4 points. You saw Sophia Minor, the sophomore, getting some good minutes. And when you needed a bucket, you know, your most consistent scorer, Emily Orcutt, was there to deliver. She had the game high 16 points to lead all scorers. So just a tremendous win here for the Wildcats at Alumni Gym.
All right, Coach, pleasure to have you along once again. Looking forward to January 30th. Dan Simino, thank you so much for your help behind the scenes. And for those of you tuning in at home on this chilly night and you weren't, rather watching the comfort of your own home, we don't blame you. That's why we're here. We'll talk to you on January 30th for the boys' game against the Ledyard. For Chris Giusti, I'm Mike O'Farrell. Thanks so much. Have a great night.